Welcome to King's Corner. I'm your host, Christian King, and on today's episode, we're continuing our series. Yesterday, we did the NFC South, so you know what today is. It's the AFC South. And today, I finally get to give you my worst grade of the entire offseason. There is no way, no how, the Jaguars were not getting an F. How would they not get an F? They've failed the offseason. Everything they did makes no sense to me. They had no first-round pick because of the Travis Hunter trade and acquisition last offseason. They made no big acquisition and free agency. All they did was focus on free agency depth pieces, and really there was nothing splashy. And I understand some of you go, well, why do they need to be splashy? Aren't you one that says no noise is good? Yes, but you need to add pieces. And to me, they didn't add any pieces. In the NFL, you know, never lasts, stagnant. In the NFL, you either get better or you get worse. There is no such thing as staying the exact same. Every year, you're either going to be better or worse than the year prior. You're never going to be, hey, I was 8-8 last year, we're going to be 8-8 this year. That doesn't happen, not in today's era. In today's league, in order to get better or worse, you have to make some kind of move. And the Jaguars, it's like they're going into this year relying on the exact same roster they had last year. And I understand you had a good season, but it was a good season, not a great season. You're not a Super Bowl team. Tavon Walker, first overall pick of 2022 to me, is still an overrated player. I mean, last year he was decent. He wasn't great. He's not been what he's worth, or he's not getting paid right what he's worth right now. And it's absolutely ridiculous to see what the Jaguars did this offseason. I'm a big Liam Cohen fan, the GM of the Jaguar, or the head coach of the Jaguars. I'm sorry. But I don't know what you expect them to do. You lost his number one running back. They lost a lot of pieces this offseason. They lost their number one running back. They lost an offensive lineman. They've lost pieces all over this roster, but yet you're expecting them to be better than last year? It's not adding up. Who's going to be the main running back? Chris Rodriguez, guy from the Commanders? I've watched Chris Rodriguez his entire career. He's an okay running back. He's not going to be a bowling ball. He's not going to get you yards guaranteed. I mean, he might be able to get you 600 yards. 600 yards in the National Football League is not going to win you games. And I don't see what committee they're going to do to win the games. I hope I'm wrong, and I really, really would love for the Jaguars to be a good team. I'd love for this F to somehow look at like a B by the end of the season. But yet again, if you're going into a season saying, hey, that grade should be a B, did you really do anything at all? I mean, think about it. If you're really fighting for a B, what did you accomplish? But anyway, the Jaguars are last place. Let's move on to third place. Who is third place? Indianapolis Colts. What's the thought process for the Colts? I'm genuinely concerned. They gave Daniel Jones this massive extension. By the way, this guy's agent deserves every award in the book. There is no way, no how he should be making that kind of money, and he's done it on a second contract. They're relying on him to do something he's never done his entire career. Daniel Jones has never had back-to-back consistently good seasons. And let's add on to the fact he's coming off an Achilles tear that just happened back in November. Now, it sounds like he'll be back week one. But even if he is, what's he going to be? He's not going to be Daniel Jones of old. And Daniel Jones has always been a guy that's relied on his athleticism. Well, now he's had an ACL injury. He's had an Achilles injury. He's always had neck issues. This guy's getting beaten up all across his body. I mean, what are we expecting him to be now? An old dog doesn't learn new tricks, and Daniel Jones has been in this league way too long to learn something new. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Shane Steichen gets something out of him again that he got out of him last year. But the other problem is last year he had a great 1-2 punch in Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. Well, they overpaid Alec Pierce way too much money to make him the number one, that they had to get rid of Michael Pittman, who's now in Pittsburgh. Who's Daniel Jones throwing to outside of Alec Pierce? I'm genuinely concerned for the Colts offense. They went all in on defense, but the year's 2026, not 1996. Defense can get you to the championship. It's not going to win you championships. Even if you want to say, what about the 2024 Eagles or the 2025 Seahawks? Both teams had offenses that were still capable. This Colts offense, if it's bottomed out, it's not going to be a good offense. I'll be shocked if they're top 16 or even top 20 this year in offensive production. Maybe I'm wrong because Shane Steichen's an offensive genius. But if Daniel Jones is your quarterback, you're not going to have another good season. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong. I want the Colts to be good. I root for the Colts. I love Shane Steichen, but I just don't see it. I didn't love their offseason. I didn't like their offseason. But Colts Nation, tell me if I'm wrong. But anyway, let's move on to second place. And in second place, I almost put them in first place. You can see it's the Houston Texans with a B plus. I absolutely love their offseason. They upgraded everywhere. Running back last year, they were kind of bad on because Joe Mixon got injured. He wasn't there in free agent all of last season because of a foot injury, and the run game struggled. But let's look at the real reason I'm loving their offseason. The last couple of years, C.J. Stroud from his rookie year season down has struggled is because his offensive line has been absolutely pitiful. They haven't been able to block a nosebleed. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, and it's gotten him beat over and over and over again. Well, the Texans said, you know what? It's time we go put all our assets into this free agency on the offensive line. They went and got him Wyatt Teller, who's an all-pro right guard from the Cleveland Browns, who's now in the Texans, and they went and got a division foe in Braden Smith, who was a right tackle of the Colts. That's another reason the Colts are struggling, but I'm done with the Colts. But this Texans roster from top to bottom, they were already the best defense in football. And I've told you guys, defenses change year in to year out, and it's hard to say your defense can be as good as last year. But the Texans have the best defensive roster in football. They have the best edge duo I think I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. And I love watching the Texans play. And I truly believe C.J. Stroud's going to get back to being, or even better than, what he was his rookie season. If that happens, the Texans could be a Super Bowl threat. This team already was a 1 yard away or a couple plays away from winning that game last year in New England to move on. If they can just get their offensive line right, this Texans team can be dangerous. They have Tank Dell coming back, who hasn't played in 2 years, and I know he had some crazy injuries, but if he can stay healthy, along with Nico Collins, this Texans team has potential to be top 10 in offense and defense. They have a chance to run the AFC this year. I mean, look at this conference. This conference is still wide open. The Chiefs are coming back from their injuries. I mean, you have the Bills, who you don't know what they're going to be because of a new head coach. The Ravens, you don't know what they're going to be because of a new head coach. The Broncos, Bo Nix is coming back from injury, and they have a new play caller. You have all these moving parts in the AFC. It's a wide open conference. It's going to be so much fun to watch this year. And wait until we see what happens if the Texans' offensive line can gel the way I think it can. This Texans team has a chance to be lethal this year. But there's a reason they're second place and not first. So let's get to our first place team. And in first place, it had to be the Tennessee Titans. I've loved every move they've made this offseason. They basically just gave Robert Saleh a bunch of his pieces that he already had in New York and are combining it with what they already had in Tennessee. I believe this defense that Gus Bradley and Robert Saleh is going to craft is going to be one of the best defenses in all of football. John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson, and Jeffrey Simmons is a formidable defensive line that can be one of the most dangerous defensive lines in all of football. Football is won in one area, the trenches. If you can dominate either side of the line of scrimmage, you're going to win a lot of games. And the Titans have lined themselves up to win games in the trenches. But it's not just that I think they've won this offseason. Let's look at their draft and their free agent acquisitions on the offensive side. They brought in Wan'Dale Robinson. They already had Tony Pollard. Cam Ward came in last year as a first overall pick at quarterback. I think Cam Ward's an immensely talented quarterback. And if you put a gun to my head and asked who's the most talented quarterback in the AFC South, I'd have to say Cam Ward. There's not a single throw on a football field Cam Ward cannot make, and it's phenomenal to watch. But let's look at what they've put around him. Brian Daboll is one of the best offensive minds in all of football. He's not meant to be a head coach, and that's okay. Not everybody's meant to be a head coach, but he's one of the best offensive coordinators in all of football. And I truly believe you give Brian Daboll, Cam Ward, Tony Pollard, Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Calvin Ridley, he's going to make magic happen. And let the Titans get on a roll. They have the fourth place schedule that's going to make it easy. Every year for the past about 3 to 4 years, we've had a dark horse team. Texans in 2023, Commanders in 2024. Last year it was the Bears. But you look at the way these teams play out, and it's just phenomenal to watch. I truly believe this Titans team can be the dark horse team of 2026, and I cannot wait to watch it. I just told you guys how open the AFC is. It just takes you 1 year to get hot. I truly believe the Titans have potential to be one of the most dangerous teams in all of football because nobody's expecting it. Who expects a team that was last place in their division to come out and win? Even with the past precedent of every year a team coming in, teams never expect it until they see it because they have to worry about so many other things. And when you say the AFC South, everyone's automatically looking at Houston because of that defensive monster that's over there. But everybody's going to be shocked when they come to find out that one of the best teams in this division is old little Tennessee that you haven't had to worry about in years. But anyway, Please tell me what you think of this episode. Give me your comments. Give me a like. I just love to hear from you guys because I'm sure you disagree with my rankings and my grades. I'm not perfect, even though I'll argue I think I'm close to it with these grades, but maybe I'm not. You guys are true fans. Let me know what you think. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. King's Corner.